Hey, what's good, everyone? Now, Nick Ferrari has everyone kicking off due to a statement that he made on LBC radio regarding parents' responsibilities in raising their children. Take a listen.
Vast numbers of teachers, I think it's around 70 or 80%, have taken in either toothpaste or toothbrushes to give to their pupils. If you are a mum and or a dad, and you haven't got money to buy your child a toothbrush, you should never have become a parent in the first place.
Now, when I read the comments, everyone was on his back saying he's out of touch. I thought this was LBC, not GB News. And my immediate thoughts is, holistically, he's actually correct. If you as an individual want to become a parent and you know that you're unable to afford to take care of the basic essentials for your children or soon to be children, then I think, especially when it comes to the issue of they're going to have to go to school without brushing their teeth, that is a dereliction of duty. And this is not some sort of luxury item that people try and bash people over the head with, saying, oh, it's because they're coming out there with, wanting all these, flat screen TVs. That's not the situation. We're talking about toothpaste and toothbrush. I mean, I remember beforehand, it probably would have been seen as a shame for their parents to let their child go out of the house looking a certain way, being a certain way. And especially now, we know kids pick up on things like this. They can be cruel. They show no mercy. So that statement by itself, that was the one that really struck a nerve to me. It all made sense. But here's the but, and this is where Nick missed the mark, and this is why people took offense, in my opinion, just reading between the lines, is he's failed to acknowledge the reason or the situation that clearly is happening, which is affecting everyone, which is, I won't even call it the, it's the biggest issue, which is the rising costs. Because let's be honest, forget about the toothbrush, because I think everyone in isolation will probably agree with that statement. The problem is the toothbrush is merely the icing on a very bad cake in regards to increased levels of costs when it comes to energy, food prices, energy prices, petrol prices, everything. And also wages haven't really increased in line with the levels that we've seen so far over the last 13 odd years, since really the Tories have been in government way back when. People have been made redundant, change of circumstances. So in any normal circumstances, people wouldn't have had a problem affording these things. But unfortunately, when you don't have the money, Nick, you just don't have the money, regardless of whether it's a cheap item or not, regardless of whether it only costs about 25p to get, 2 toothbrushes from Asda, regardless of whether it's that kind of stuff. Broke is just broke. And that's where Nick missed the mark. It's not the fact of what you're saying is not true. It's just these are likely parents who had money to be able to take care of the essentials and then some. But now we know the situation that's going on right now, costs are so fragile, everything's so tight that it goes into the purse strings of things which would have been a basic, now actually almost seems like a luxury. Now, there definitely is, and I'm not going to disagree with, if you listen to the whole clip, what Nick was saying about there is that situation or element of parents aren't doing their due diligence when it comes to budgeting. Some parents are just wasteful when it comes to their finances. Some parents literally, I'm telling you, they don't seem to have the kind of level of, I'd say, shame or even decency when it comes to raising their kids. I will agree on that. But that is not the case for a lot of parents, I can imagine. And this is where there's just such a disconnect between those who have and those who don't. Because again, Nick seemed to make these flippant comments. A lot of people make these flippant comments as if, oh, well, it's not a problem. You can just do this. Oh, well, it's only 25p. Oh, well, it's only this, it's only that. And I'm like, well, it's easy to say it in isolation. But again, once you uncover everything else, unfortunately, when you don't have it, you just don't have it. And then when something runs out, as much as it only costs 25p, if you've got nothing, you've got nothing. So this is where I understand where people are coming from when it comes to the outrage, but the sort of pushback that Nick has got in regards to the comments that he made. I just think Nick was arguing a different point than what other people were making. Because if you listen to the clip, a woman was talking about it's not the fact of what you're saying is wrong necessarily. It's just the fact that there are other things which has made parents' pockets a lot more tighter than it used to be for obvious reasons that we're all going through. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts. Until next time.